You can argue about Senna's flair, Schumacher's dominance, Hamilton's records, or even Fangio's legend. But if you're still debating who the greatest Formula One driver of all time is, you're missing the point. Because right now we're witnessing something the sport has never seen before. Max Verstappen isn't just the best of his generation, he might be the best in any era in F1 history. Let's be honest, F1 fans love a good debate. Pub arguments about the GOAT are as much a part of the sport as the checkered flag. But every so often, a driver comes along who doesn't just break records, he shatters the very idea of what's possible. Max Verstappen is that driver. He's not just rewriting the record books, he's making us question whether the old ones even matter anymore. Today we're diving into the stats, the races and the moments that prove Verstappen isn't just the best of his time, he's the best there's ever been. And if you're still clinging to the past, it's time to wake up and smell the Red Bull. Let's start with the cold, hard stats, because in Formula One, numbers matter. In 2023, Verstappen set the records for most wins, most podiums, and most points in a single season, and by the end of 2025, those numbers still stand at the top of F1 history. Consider this. Verstappen's win percentage over the last 3 seasons is north of 60%. That's not just good, that's unheard of. Schumacher at his peak hovered around 50%. Hamilton during the Mercedes era was just over 40%. Senna, Prost, Fangio, none of them touched what Max is doing now, and it's not just about the wins, it's about the consistency. Verstappen has finished on the podium in a massive percentage of his starts since 2022. He's scored points in a huge part of his races. He's had fewer retirements in 5 years than some legends had in a single season. The numbers are so staggering they almost don't seem real. But they are. And they're only getting better. Taken together, these statistics place Verstappen in territory previously unseen in Formula One, reshaping how dominance is measured across different eras of the sport. That's one thing, but Formula One is about moments, those races that make you jump off the sofa, spill your pint, and shout at the telly. Verstappen's career is already packed with more iconic drives than most champions manage in a lifetime. Remember Brazil 2016? A teenage Max, in the pouring rain, overtaking world champions like they were standing still. He finished third, but everyone watching knew they'd just seen the future. Or Austria 2019, when he hunted down Charles Leclerc in the closing laps, muscled his way past, and took the win in front of a sea of orange. That was the day the Verstappen era truly began. Then there's Abu Dhabi 2021, the most controversial, dramatic and unforgettable title decider in F1 history. Max versus Lewis, toe-to-toe, lap after lap. Whatever you think of the ending, Verstappen's relentless pressure, his refusal to give up, and his final lap move will be replayed for decades. And who could forget the 2024 and 2025 Brazilian Grands Prix? In 2024, he came from 17th on the grid in the wet to win, a drive that had old-timers comparing him to Senna at Donington. In 2025, he started from the pit lane, suffered a puncture, made 3 pit stops, and still finished on the podium. Not many in F1 history have ever done that. These aren't just wins, they're statements, they're moments that define an era. Together, they illustrate a driver capable of delivering under any condition, against any opposition, repeatedly producing performances that reshape expectations of what is possible in Formula One. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Every time someone calls Verstappen the greatest, the old guard pipes up. But what about the cars? What about the team? What about the era? Let's break it down. Yes, Red Bull has built a rocket ship, but so did Ferrari for Schumacher, McLaren for Senna, Mercedes for Hamilton. Every great champion has had a great car. The difference is what you do with it. Verstappen hasn't just won in a dominant car, he's won in cars that shouldn't have been on the podium. He dragged Red Bull to wins in 2016 and 2017. He outdrove the Mercedes juggernaut in 2021. And when the car is perfect, he doesn't just win, he annihilates the field. People love to say it's all Adrian Newey. But Newey's been in F1 for decades. He's built great cars for other drivers, but none of them have done what Max is doing now. Verstappen's feedback? his development skills, his ability to extract every last tenth. He's as much a part of Red Bull's success as the engineers. F1 is easier now, the cars are safer, the tracks have more runoff, the drivers are coddled. You hear it all the time, but here's the truth: the competition has never been deeper, the margins have never been smaller, the pressure has never been higher. Every mistake is magnified, every decision scrutinized, every race a battle. Verstappen isn't just beating one or two rivals, he's beating a grid full of world-class talent, all with access to the same data, the same simulators, the same training. And he's doing it week after week, year after year. In that context, Verstappen's dominance cannot be reduced to machinery or circumstance alone. It reflects a rare alignment of talent, preparation, adaptability, and execution, qualities that transcend regulations, technology, and era-specific advantages in Formula One. What really sets Verstappen apart isn't just the stats or the wins, it's the mentality. Max races like every lap is the last lap of his life. He's aggressive, fearless, and utterly uncompromising. He doesn't care about politics, about playing nice, about making friends in the paddock. He cares about winning. You see it in the way he attacks every corner, every overtake, every strategy call. He's not afraid to go wheel to wheel with anyone. Hamilton, Leclerc, Alonso, it doesn't matter. He'll fight you for every inch. But it's not just aggression, it's intelligence. Verstappen reads races better than anyone. He knows when to push, when to save tyres, when to go for the undercut, when to play the long game. He's a master of the mental battle, getting inside his rivals' heads and making them doubt themselves. And then there's the resilience. Max has had his share of setbacks, bad luck, bad calls, crashes, penalties. But he never sulks, never blames the team, never makes excuses. He just gets back in the car and goes again. That's the mark of a true champion. It's a mentality forged through relentless competition, one that treats pressure as fuel, adversity as routine, and victory as the only acceptable outcome. Some will say, but Max doesn't have a true rival. Hamilton had Rosberg, Schumacher had Häkkinen, Senna had Prost. Let's set the record straight. Verstappen's era is stacked with talent. Lewis Hamilton is still on the grid, still fighting, still winning. Charles Leclerc is a generational talent. Lando Norris, George Russell, Oscar Piastri. These are not journeymen, they're the best of the best. And yet Max has made them all look ordinary. He's broken their spirits, outthought them, outdrove them, and outlasted them. In 2023, Max dominated even when rivals like Ferrari showed flashes of pace, winning the title with races to spare. Look at 2024, when McLaren and Ferrari both had race-winning cars. Norris and Leclerc pushed him, but Max found another gear. And in 2025, with the championship slipping away, with the car fighting him every step of the way, he still delivered the drive of the decade in Brazil. This isn't a weak era. This is the most competitive grid in F1 history. And Max is still the man to beat. If anything, the absence of a single defining rival highlights the scale of Verstappen's dominance. He hasn't eclipsed one challenger, but an entire generation of elite drivers simultaneously. What's truly remarkable about Verstappen is how he's evolved. Early in his career, he was all raw speed and aggression. He made mistakes, got into scrapes, and ruffled feathers. But he learned. He matured. He became a complete driver. Now he's the total package. He's still aggressive, but he's also patient. He knows when to attack and when to wait. He's a master in the wet, a strategist in the dry, and a tire whisperer when it counts. He's also become a leader. The Red Bull team revolves around him. He motivates the crew, pushes the engineers, and sets the standard for everyone around him. And let's not forget his fitness. Max is in the best shape of his life. He trains like an athlete, eats like a monk, and recovers like a pro. He's built for the modern era. Fast, strong, and relentless. He's also become a media force. Max doesn't play the PR game. He speaks his mind, calls it like he sees it, and doesn't care about ruffling feathers. He's honest, sometimes brutally so, and that's why fans respect him, even when they don't always agree. That evolution from prodigy to professional, from raw talent to refined competitor, marks the transition from champion to all-time great in Formula One. Let's talk about the records. By 2025, Max has more wins before the age of 30 than any driver in history. He's on pace to break Hamilton's all-time win record, and he's already surpassed Schumacher's pole tally for his age. He's the youngest driver to reach 50 wins, and the only driver to win a race in every season he's competed. But it's not just about the numbers, it's about the way he wins. The dominance, the consistency, the ability to deliver under pressure. And he's not done yet. Max is still hungry, still improving, still chasing greatness. He's got years left at the top, and the records are there for the taking. He's also changed the way teams approach development. Red Bull's willingness to build the car around Max, to trust his feedback, to let him lead the way, it's a model other teams are now trying to copy. In many ways, Verstappen has redefined what a modern Formula One superstar looks like. Not just a driver who adapts to the car, but one who actively shapes its direction, performance ceiling, and long-term competitive philosophy. So why is Max Verstappen greater than any F1 era? Because he's not just a product of his time, he's a driver who would have dominated in any era. Put him in a turbocharged monster from the 80s and he'd wring its neck. Put him in a V10 screamer from the 2000s and he'd be on pole. Put him in a modern hybrid and he's untouchable. He's got the speed of Senna, the ruthlessness of Schumacher, the consistency of Hamilton, and the adaptability of Prost. He's the complete package. But more than that, he's changed the way we think about greatness. He's made us realize that the best aren't just the ones with the most wins. They're the ones who redefine what's possible. Max has done that. He's made the impossible look routine. He's set a new standard for what it means to be great. And he's done it all with a style, a swagger, and a sense of purpose that's uniquely his own. He's also inspired a new generation of fans. The Orange Army follows him everywhere, turning every race into a home Grand Prix. Kids want to be Max, adults want to watch him. Even the old-timers, the ones who swore by Senna or Schumacher, can't help but be impressed. He's made F1 cool again. He's made it global. He's made it a sport for everyone. And he's done it by being himself, unapologetic, uncompromising, and utterly relentless. In assessing greatness across eras, Verstappen stands apart not because of nostalgia or circumstance, but because his influence spans performance, culture, and perception, leaving a lasting imprint on Formula One that extends beyond results alone. So, is Max Verstappen the greatest of all time? The stats say yes, the races say yes, the fans say yes, but more than that, Max is the greatest because he's redefined what greatness means. He's shown that it's not just about winning, it's about how you win, who you beat, and what you overcome. He's the driver who would have beaten anyone, in any car, in any era. He's the standard by which all future champions will be measured. And as long as he's on the grid, the rest of the field is playing for second. So next time you're in the pub arguing about the GOAT, remember this. There will never be another Max Verstappen, and we're lucky to be watching him now. Because history rarely announces itself so clearly. When it does, it leaves no doubt, not just in the record books, but in the collective memory of everyone who witnessed it unfold. What do you think? Is Max Verstappen the greatest of all time? Where does his 2025 Brazil drive rank in F1 history? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your mates. We've got more stories coming your way about the legends, the underdogs, and the moments that make this sport what it is. And remember, greatness isn't just about the numbers, it's about the moments that make you believe. Thanks for watching, check out this next video.